In this brief lecture, we're going to talk about degrees, radians, and how to convert them uh, from one to another. Recall the circle that once you go around the circle, you're going to get 360 degrees. So if we go counterclockwise, this would be 90 degrees. This would be 180 degrees. This would be 270 degrees. And once we go one time around the circle, we have gone 360 degrees around. Now, what radian is going to convert or is a relationship between degrees and radians, but the radians itself, it's given in terms of the central angle and the arc length and the radius of a circle, which that would be in another lecture. So keep in mind for now that if you go 360 degrees around the circle, then in terms of radian, this will be 2 pi radians. So if I divide both sides by 360, I will have 1 degree on this side and I will have 2 pi divided by 360 radian on this side. Once we simplify, 1 degree will be equivalent to pi divided by 180 radian. Similarly, if I divide both sides by 2, I get 180 degrees is equal to pi radians. Now, this relationship that we just found, they're very important for us because that allows us to make conversion from degrees to radians or from radians to degrees. So let's look at some examples. I want to convert 30 degrees to radians. We know that 180 degrees is equal to pi radians. Now, to get to 30 degrees, we're going to divide by 6. So that would be 180 degrees divided by 6 equal to pi divided by 6 radians. So once you simplify, we get 30 degrees is equal to pi over 6 in radian. Now, let's look at another one. We want to convert, let's say 5 pi over 12 radian to degrees. So we know that pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. But we're given 5 pi over 2. So we're going to multiply both sides by 5 over 12. So we get 5 pi over 12 in radians is equal to 5 over 12 times 180 degrees. Twelve, of course, is 2 times 6, and 180 is 6 times 30. So I did that so I can reduce the 6, and I can also now go ahead and reduce 2 with 60. I mean with 30. So our final answer here would be 5 times 15, which is 75 degrees. Now let's take a look at special angles in degrees and radians. 0 degrees is the same as 0 radian. 90 degrees is the same as pi over 2 radian. 180 degrees will be the same as pi radians. 270 degrees will be 3 pi over 2 radians. And 360 degrees is same as 2 pi radians. So these are generally referred to as your angles that end with on the x-axis or on the y-axis. Now the other ones that are very specials and they will be used a lot, the 30-degree angle, the 45 degrees angle, and the 60 degrees angle. The 30-degree angle would be pi over 6 radians. The 45 degrees would be pi over 4 radian. And 60 degrees would be pi over 3 radians. Now, in another lecture, We will look at the radians in terms of area of a sector, the arc length, as well as the central angle, which will be measured in radians.